Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and of course the continuation of our hashtag Reading Europe 2021 challenge. I'm going to come at you today with a roundup of match day 10, which was yesterday. So I'll give you some information regarding the reading results and of course the football results from yesterday's game. So if you don't want to know the scores, of course, now's the time to stop listening. And we'll move through to see what's ahead today in the Euro 2020 Championship, which of course is postponed from last year, so that's why it's still Euro 2020. I'm well aware, of course, we're in 2021, and I'm sure we can all guess the reasons why it was postponed. Okay, so yesterday's matches. The first lot of final group games started yesterday, and we had only two matches, which were played simultaneously. All the matches in the groups will be played simultaneously from now on to avoid any kind of collusion or fixing of results or any other kind of shenanigans. So the first game we'll mention is Italy versus Wales. Italy, of course, drawn by Soggy Expat Book Nerd, who happens to live in Wales. So she's got Italy for the competition, but she lives in Wales. So it must have been a hard one for her. I'm sure her heart was probably really with Wales rather than Italy. And Wales drawn by The Reading and Writing Life. This was a 1-0 win for Italy, though despite having only 10 men for most of the second half, Wales limited Italy to only that one goal. And given that the events from the second match we're going to talk about, Wales were able to finish second in the group and therefore advance to the next stage. Of course, Italy did finish first. The reading result is that The Reading and Writing Life should read something from the boot. That is Italy. Okay, the other match that took place yesterday was Switzerland, drawn by Miss Reads a Lot, versus Turkey, drawn by Knitting Books, etc. Unfortunately for Knitting Books, etc., this was a 3-1 win for Switzerland. The Swiss worked really hard in this game and took full advantage of all the chances they had. Despite several chances, though, Turkey failed to capitalise and thus went down to Switzerland and therefore as well crashed out of the competition. The reading result is that Knitting Books, etc., who had already completed her Swiss book in anticipation of Turkish defeat, the book she read was Heidi, will now be drawn a new team from this group, though this will be decided a bit later because it will depend whether or not Switzerland, their score is good enough to advance to the next stage, because a few of the teams that finished third in the group, I think it's four of the third place teams, four teams out of the 6 groups who finished third will advance to the next stage as well. So we'll see what happens to Switzerland a bit later. Coming up today, we have how many? We have 4 matches today. The first two earlier matches are Ukraine, drawn by Katya Read Write Create, versus Austria, drawn by Aaron Facer. And the second match from that group, which will of course be played at the same time, is North Macedonia, drawn by Barter Hordes, versus the Netherlands, drawn by Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. And the later matches for today, that will take place around 9 o'clock Central European Time, are Russia, drawn by Remembered Reads, versus Denmark, drawn by Rambling Raconteur. And the game that's played at the same time as that one is Finland, drawn by Faith and Books, versus Belgium, drawn by Another Bibliophile Reads. So that's what's coming up today, and I think there'll be some very good games, hopefully as exciting as yesterday. I'm coming to you today from school again. I'm at work, but it's almost a deserted school as most of the kids are away on trips. So I have a little bit of time to do this. It's very strange, isn't it? You know, if you find yourself in school and there's almost no children. The little ones are here. They're all upstairs, and I will have one lesson with the first graders or the first class a little bit later on, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. I know that these updates are probably not meant for people who are not in the challenge, and it's probably a bit tiresome for some, but I will, as the competition progresses, I will have to make less videos, of course, rather than a daily roundup, so I will have time to make other videos and get back to some kind of normal video making routine where I can talk about the stuff I read and other things, because I've read quite a lot actually for me anyway this month, and I look forward to telling you about it. So everyone, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you're all well. Take care. See you soon. All the best. Bye bye.